Houston Real Estate Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to Houston Real Estate Radio, where we bring you guests and information that you can use in your next real estate transaction. If you have a real estate question, you can call in anytime. That number is 281-882-8088. And anything that we talk about on air, you can always find more information at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. We've been talking about safety today. We had an HPD officer on earlier, and he was talking about safety for home buyers and for home sellers, and how one of the things that you need to do when you're looking for a new home is check out the subdivision at different times of the day, not just the one time that you go with your realtor to get a different view of the neighborhood. He gave us lots of tips for buyers and sellers, and now I want to talk with Roger Courts. He is the founder and owner of ZBest Lock and Key. Love that name. I want to talk to him about the home that you actually live in, whether you rent a home or you live in an apartment or you're a homeowner. We want to talk about ways to keep that home a little bit safer. So tell us, Roger, what do you think the most important thing about safety is for your home?
A quality, properly installed lock.
All right, sounds good.
Very important.
So, and the funny thing is you can have a really great lock, but if it's not installed properly, it doesn't do you much good, right?
No, it won't. I've encountered locks that were installed backwards. Ooh. I've actually come upon a house that when I walked up to it, the thumb turn was outside, and the keyhole was inside the house. So
interesting.
But yes, it's very important that it's installed properly. A couple of other things to think about. You want a good solid door that the lock is installed into, and the door frame should be in good condition as well. Depending on the age of the house, you could have a door frame that's had multiple locks on it, different strike plate holes, and this weakens the frame, making the door susceptible to being kicked in.
So if it's an older home, you may want to replace the whole door or the frame around the door.
Yes, I would talk to, a lot of times in older homes you're having it remodeled anyway. So I would talk to the company that's doing the remodeling work to take a look and inspect those door frames and make sure that they're up to snuff. Okay.
And also, when you purchase a new home, your new home inspector also takes a look at that.
That's correct.
And can make that recommendation as well. So specifically for landlords and tenants, there are some things in the property code just for them. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Section 92 in the Texas Property Code. The Texas Property Code is the set of laws that pertains to real estate transactions and so forth. Section 92 is the section that pertains to single-family dwellings, rental properties. And there are a few things that the landlord is responsible for when he rents the house out to a family. The first thing is that the house must be rekeyed. Specifically, a rekey is when we change the key card, the combination, or the key going to the locks of the home. And that has to be performed within a specified time period. It's 7 days from the time of possession of the property. So that's the first thing that needs to be done.
So if their renter has moved out and they're going to put it on the market and go ahead and rekey it, they're going to need to rekey it again after the tenant moves in. Is that right? Within the closing time, or is that okay to do it in between tenants?
It's okay to do it in between tenants. Okay. The law just says that once a tenant has moved in, if it has not been rekeyed after the last tenant, they have 7 days to do so.
Okay, good. All right. And so you talk about different types of locks, not just a key lock, but there are keypads now that are pretty safe to use in your home that make it pretty easy for children, especially who are trying to get in.
We have a keypad on our front door. I have younger children who come in during the day, and I got tired of cutting new keys for them because they would lose the keys.
And you don't want them losing keys at school,
No.
You don't want keys floating around.
No.
So.
But the keypad locks, they're not necessarily any more secure than just a regular keyed locking device. They're just more convenient. The keypad allows you to punch a code in, and it actuates a motor in there that turns and moves the latch so that you can gain entry.
Okay. And I know we were talking before the show. One of the things that you mentioned is if you're purchasing a foreclosure home, you want to make sure you get those locks changed right away. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Fannie Mae has its own key code that it actually orders us to use, and it's for the convenience of the inspectors and anybody that's got business.
The realtors.
The realtors, yes, in getting that house back on the market. So the banks, depending on the bank, they'll also have key codes as well. So those key codes are known throughout the locksmithing community, and eventually they get known from other people, so you definitely want to get those rekeyed.
Yeah, that's important, especially, I mean, a lot of them are investor properties and you've got time, but if you've got a family moving in the day after closing, you want to get that lined up ahead of time. What kind of price range is it, to have someone come out or to have you guys come out and rekey, let's say, all the exterior doors, on an average home, 3-4 exterior doors? How expensive is that?
It's about $70 for 6 keyways.
Okay.
And we mention keyholes because some people view locks as, well, for instance, I have a double-cylinder deadbolt lock here, and that it's keyed on both sides. So this is actually 2 locks.
Okay, so you sort of brought in a demonstration for us that shows how it's got a key on both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And so it's about $70 if you're going to have for 6 keyways, and if you're going to have any more done after that, it's about $10. That's what my company charges. That includes the service call.
Now let me ask you this: on a lot of interior doors, it has the thumb lock, and on the exterior, you use the key. And then there are some deadbolts where it has keys on both sides. Mm-hmm. Are they the same as far as safety, or is the one that has the thumb turn not as safe as the one that has keys on both sides?
It depends on the application. This is referred to as a double-cylinder deadbolt.
Where it has the key on both sides?
Has the key on both sides.
Okay.
And so this would be the exterior of this door, and this would be the interior. You would use this lock on a French door where somebody could break a window, stick their hand in, and turn the thumb turn on a single-cylinder deadbolt. Mm-hmm. And you would just use a single-cylinder deadbolt on a door that's solid with no windows.
Okay.
So the thing to remember about these is I do rekey these, work on these all the time. Mm-hmm. If they're in a rental property, the landlord, the Texas Property Code doesn't really mention double-cylinder deadbolts by name, but it talks about how a person must be able to leave the house without a key, knowledge, or special device. So I can tell you that the Section 8 properties prohibit the use of double-cylinder deadbolts, and many municipalities do prohibit them due to their fire codes.
Okay, so if you are purchasing a property and want to be an investor, there's really a lot you need to know about making the home secure for the family that's going to be moving in and renting from you. I think that there are some landlords out there who may not know about that, and I know as a realtor, there are references to the property code in our contracts, but there's really a lot to know. There's really a lot to know when you're renting a home. Yes,
and I've made it my business to know because I've worked around rental properties for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. And so the people who pay me to do their work, I want to keep them out of problems down the road. But it's for the tenant's safety and well-being, and that's why they have it.
A lot of older homes have sliding glass doors, and I know that a lot of families worry about the security on a sliding glass door. If you had a client that was purchasing a home with a sliding glass door, what do you recommend for them?
Well, the sliding glass doors, it's always good to have a couple of locking devices on a sliding glass door in case one fails. It's been my experience that most of the time the latches actually do fail. So there's 2 other options that you have for a sliding glass door. You have what they call a Charlie bar, which a makeshift Charlie bar is cutting a broom handle and setting it down on the track.
I've seen those before.
Okay. Now that's not up to Texas Property Code,
right.
But it is effective. And so a Charlie bar is good to have. A pin lock, this is what we call a patio pin lock.
And it looks like a pin.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a pin, looks like a nail. This is actually required in rental properties, and it must be installed 48 inches or lower so that a child could get out in case of an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so a working latch and a patio pin lock, or a Charlie bar and a patio pin lock
Okay.
would be
and
good.
that makes it secure.
That makes it secure.
Pretty secure. Okay. And, you know, sometimes front doors will actually have two doors, like a French door set up, where one door opens and one door is kind of closed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Any special locks you need on a door like that?
Well, you're going to want the same locks that you have on any door in your house to make it secure. So I like a keyed locking knob. It's another device that's locked that somebody would have to get past. And a deadbolt or a keyless deadbolt, you would actually have to have a keyless deadbolt on a rental property. Anything to make it up to code.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The other thing is the secondary door, which is the door that usually does not have the other locking devices on it, must have a bolt that is installed at the top of the door that goes into the header of the frame, and then a bolt that's installed at the bottom of the door that actually inserts into the floor, and so that keeps that door secure.
Okay.
As well.
Real quickly, what is the difference between a deadbolt and other types of locks that you can purchase that look similar? What makes it different?
Well, it's the latch. The latch is the device that you actually see on when you turn, whether with a key or a thumb turn on the deadbolt. It's what you see that exits the doorway into the door frame.
Okay.
That latch is a more hardy latch. That latch would, if it's actuated, it would actually keep you from closing the door if the door was open.
Okay, it doesn't move in and out like the other, like a one where you can twist the back of it.
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
And you've seen these guys in the movies take a credit card or their driver's license.
Right, you
and
can't
get
do
past
that
the
with a
knob.
deadbolt.
You can't do that with a deadbolt.
Okay, all right, good to know. So tell us a little bit about your company, because there may be some people out there who are thinking, wow, you know, I really need to go and get my house rekeyed. I hadn't thought about all this. Even with builders, new construction, a lot of people have those keys. So let them know how to get in touch with you.
Well, thank you. It's ZBest Lock and Key. We're located in Montgomery, Texas, but we work North Harris County and Montgomery County. And our number is 936-537-5195. We do Section 92 compliance work, master key systems, that type of thing.
Fabulous. All right, well, we are going to be right back in a moment with more safety information here on Houston Real Estate Radio.